Hi guys, very good morning to you. I have this question that somebody wrote this email and he says that in Excel, is it possible for you to keep a, to keep a record of all the cells which are actually, whose value is being changed by anybody. It could be you who has made the sheet, or it could be anyone else. So what it means is that if I have got some values here, let's say something like this, and this person says that if somebody is changing this workbook, might be if he's changing this 100 to 110, or maybe this is be changed to something like this. So any changes, whatever it is being done in uh, within these sheets, in any sheet, right? So it should be, is it possible for us to record those changes, that on what date those changes have been done, and what was the time, and what was the new value which got changed. And he also said that is it also possible to track the sheet name where these changes are have occurred. So yes, it is possible. We can prepare a VBA code, and so I'm going to talk about this thing in my this video. So let's immediately go to the developer tab and Visual Basic. So what you need to do is, you need to prepare this code in this this workbook. Generally 90% or 95% of the time you always use this module and you write your codes over here. But since we want that it should be something which should occur automatically, you really don't have to press any button to run the macros. So we will take the help of these events which are designed in VBA. And let me write some dummy data here. Let's say some number here, just to give you an example, or maybe I can write, we have written here some values. So it could be any sheet, but in order to track this, we'll have to prepare a sheet which I'll call it, let's say, track. Okay, so I'm just naming this track, and let's create the headers here. Maybe you would like to have the sheet name first, where you got these changes done, and date, when on which date this change is occurred, and the time, and new value. You can also uh, keep this thing in the table, right? So yes, but you need to make ensure that whatever the changes you have on this track, it should not be recorded in the macro, because this track sheet is basically for the purpose to track the changes which are being occurred in the other sheets, right? Not in this sheet. Obviously, why would you want to track something which is being changed here, right? Because then if you want to do that, then you would have to take use of some other sheet. So I don't think so it is a good option. So you have these sheets. Let me add some more sheets. You can add as many sheets as you want, and so whatever the changes you'll apply here, let me write some number here, let me write my name here, right? And so let's start with the code, and let's see how we can prepare this. So as usual, I'm going to prepare this code just from the very scratch, so that we can build this code in a way that as if we are attempting it for the first time, and then if we'll get some issues, we can definitely search for those for those issues. And it always gives you a confidence that yes, if I can do it, you can also do it. There is as such no difference. People who know the basics, this video is going to help them a lot in brushing up their skills and taking the Excel to the new level. And people who does not know anything about the VBA, let me know about it. I will share about my email ID at the end of the video. You can definitely speak to me about this. And other way around, this video is also going to help you a lot. If you don't know the VBA, you can actually still watch this video and you can get the idea what VBA can do. It's actually very, I would say, it's a phenomenal work which has been done by Microsoft. And once again, while making this code, I must say that they have done a wonders, in terms of, I would say, in the technology. And they have especially built this Excel tool. It is so widely used in every industry that and if you know all the in and out of this Excel, I must say that it can do wonders to your career. Trust me, guys. And all right, so let me just get back to the code and let's see what we can do here. So these are the auto events, which you really don't have to run, with the help of some shortcut key or some button. These are going to run when you when these events will automatically enables, when they get on. So for example, if I write something here, workbook open, so whenever whenever this workbook will open, that this whatever the code you are going to write here, your code goes here, it is automatically going to be run, right? But anyways, we are not interested in this code, because right now I'm not just interested in getting this workbook opened and getting this code run. So that's fine with me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look out for the code for the event which says that with every selection I'm going to change something. It should trigger that macro, it should trigger that event for me. So you'll come to this workbook. Remember guys, again I'm repeating, you are on this workbook, not on the module or any other sheet, right? So we have to see that so that's the sheet change event. That's not gonna work. Sheet change, yeah, sheet change will work, right? Sheet change will work. So sheet change event, what it will do is whenever you get something, whenever you bring some changes in your worksheet, any sheet, except for this track sheet, those things, this macro will automatically be triggered. So let me just try try to build this code, and let's see how we are going to do. So the first thing first, any changes which are going to happen in the track sheet, it should not be noted, right? The macro should not go ahead. So first thing which I would say, that sheet dot name, if sheet dot name equals to, let me just copy this, you can write it, that's not a problem, and it should be in quotes because it's a string, then I would say exit sub. So you got to exit the sub, you don't have to run the loop, right? Now I don't need the end if over here because I'm not writing this in two syntaxes, right? If I write this in like this, then and then exit sub, in the true condition, then I'll have to write the end if, right? But otherwise, if you're writing it just one line, then you really don't have to write the end if. I'll just show you at the end of the video. All right, so you write sh.name or you write active sheet.name equals to track. That's one and the same thing, right? I'm writing this sh because that's the parameter which is used in this within this sub. We have this parameter sh as object, so that's why I have used. Otherwise, writing this line again. Okay, so we don't have the if, so if always goes with the then, right? Then that's one and the same thing. So right now I'm commenting this, so this code will not run. I'll just show you in a moment. Now what else we need to do? So whatever the changes are being done, first if the sheet name is a track, then please exit, don't run the loop. Otherwise what you need to do is you need to let us declare some variable. I would say that dim my row. That's a variable. I'm going to declare it, and I'm going to declare it as long, basis the capacity which long can hold, right? Watch out my another video in case if you want to get the understanding on the data variables, how they hold the values, and what kind of a the type of the data variable you should use. So my row I'm going to declare here as a long, and the value which we are going to assign this variable is worksheet. Let's select this track sheet, and then what we are going to do is we are going to use this cells, and then this value, my row, I'll just show you in a moment. The column has to be 1, and okay, so no, not yet. First we'll ensure that it should come to this blank cell automatically. So what we're going to write is we'll write here rows count and then 1, and then it got to be in the on the last row. So we'll write this code. I'll just show you in a moment how these codes are going to react when we'll run this, right? So I'm adding this +1 because this code, what it will do is it will come here like this, and then you need to write on the blank cell. So we have to move this cell to the next blank cell, to the next value wherever it is, right? So if I got something here, let's say okay, so let's just reset this. Now when this code will run, what it will do is it first go to the last filled cell, and then you will have to move it down, so that you can write the next entry, the next value, right? So that's how, or otherwise you can also write this code as well. Instead of this, it can be written in this way as well. Start from the range A1 and then end excel up dot row and +1, right? So one and the same thing. Let me just comment this code. Okay, and now what we need to do is we have already selected each and everything, means we are on the blank cell, and now what we need to do is we need to assign these values. So let's do one thing quickly. Let's write this code. So here your this let me comment this sheet name will go. Okay, so comment means that this is not a code for the VBA, it is not going to run, right? So now what we are going to do is I'm going to select this worksheets and the name track. Okay, and then cells, that's the code, and here what row it is going to choose, right? Because cell requires two parameters, rows and the column. So the row would be whatever the value will have in this variable my row, and the column has to be 1 because sheet name is in the 1, right? And so I'll say that the value, this has to be equals to what? Whatever the value we have, right? So right now we are interested in the sheet name, so what we'll do is we'll write this sheet name. Okay, that's the first code, right? So now second step, what we want to do is date will go here. Okay, so I'm going just copying this code again, and I'm just pasting this, and instead of this now sheet name, what we want is we want that we need the date, right? So that's a VBA, that's a class which has this date function, so that's quite simple. And similarly next we have the time. Okay, and let me just copy this again, and this time you should write VBA dot time. Okay, okay, so let us just copy some other codes as well. What else you want? You want the new value as well. So now what you need to write is target dot value. Okay, target dot value, it means that whatever cell this action is going to be applied on, whichever cell, it is going to be considered as a target, and whatever value you will put here, it will be added in this value, right? So this is the code for the new value. So I think we are okay here, and now what else we want? Yeah, so last thing which I want is that this entire if I write here some, maybe a new value can exceed, so if it is going to exceed, then we should be able to auto fit it. So I think we are good here. Last thing which I want is that this worksheet, this track sheet, let's auto fit the columns. It is important in terms of giving it a good look to your spreadsheet, because what happens is if somebody is writing a long value, a long number, or maybe a name which cannot be accommodated within this D column, so autofit will help us to rearrange the cells properly within the cell. Alright, so let me just reset this, and let me put this break code so that this code should not run immediately, and we'll have to track this code. So let's come to this sheet, and let us check that how this code is going to work, right? All right, so I'm going to now see, watch this carefully. The moment I'm going to write something here, let's say 200, I'm going to change the value of this and I'll press enter. Okay, so this got triggered, but sum or function not defined. So uh, we have some error here. Let us check. The sub is not defined, it says. That's the error which I'm getting here. So okay, so we got the error because we have selected the track sheet and then the cells row count, and this will take it to the first cell. um, Worksheet track, and over here I have got the value worksheet. Okay, so first thing which we just forgot is to change these columns, right? First, second, third, fourth, because you don't want everything in the column, in the same column. So these are the column numbers which are changed. So it says sub or function not defined, and it's okay, my mistake. I'm not saying it. My mistake, guys, my mistake. That's it's a spelling mistake, right? So it should be, sorry, uh, worksheet, right? So let me just put the K here. Yeah, right? So that's the proper code, right? So these are the kind of errors, you know, you may come across. So not a problem. Now let's run this code. I'm trying to run this code again. Let me just reset this and change the value, let's say to 1200. Okay, so now it says again error. Okay, so my mistake again, we have not used this correctly. My bad, guys. I should have not done the typo mistake at least, but you know, that's that's something which gives you, you know, these are the things which actually makes you experienced guy. So nobody is when they, you know, people make the codes, developer makes the code, it's not something which they make it in just first attempt, right? So that's how you learn. So that was a typo error anyways. So good exercise. Let us check now. Let us change this value to 100 and let's see this code now, how it is going to work, right? So let me add these watches here, or maybe I don't want to add the watch. Let it be like this, you know, I can show you. So sheet name is not a track because the changes are done on the sheet 1, so it has not, you know, it has not gone to this exit sub. Now it is on the my row. So the moment I'm going to press F8 again, that's the debugging tool which I'm using. So see, my row equals to 2. Now this my row equals to 2 is because in the track sheet I have this header on the very, you know, first row. So it has, this code has taken me to the you know, the very first row, and then +1 is that, you know, just below the first row, the filled row, you know, where we have the cell. And now we'll add these values here. Now this sheet name will be added there. Now let us check. You see the sheet 1 is there, right? And now it will again work. Now now in sheet 1, you see in this track sheet, now we have written something here, A2, you know, in A2 now sheet 1 is there. So again this event has triggered because the value is changed. Initially the cell was the blank, but now instead of the blank we have gotten some value which is sheet 1. So automatically this trigger is again, you know, activated. Now it is again running. You see, that's why I got this yellow arrow just right on the top of this sub, right? So now again I'll see this. Now see what will happen. Very interesting thing. Now this sheet name is track. I am on the right, you know, this track sheet. So what will happen? Will this skip this exit sub? Will this go to the next row or what? Let us check. I'm going to press F8. Now you see it has gone to the exit sub. So exit sub means that is going to exit the sub. It is not going to record anything over here. It is not going to execute anything, right? Because we don't want to record anything because this is our track sheet, right? We are tracking the changes which are going to be done on the other sheets, not on this sheet. Okay, So I'll press F8. Now it will immediately go to the next line because the first line is already executed. We have already got this sheet name. Now again in this second column, you see, which means here second column, and my row, see the row value, my row equals to 2, so that's my second row and the second column, right, of this cell, and the value has to be VBA date. So what is the date today? Today I'm recording this video on the 15th of March, and this is what I have in my system, in my laptop, so that's why it has, you know, given me this. Now again this blank cell is changed to some value which is the 15th of March. This trigger is again, you know, it is again running. So now again we'll have this sheet name as a track, so it will exit. Once it is going to exit, it is going to immediately, you know, going to fire the next line of the code, which is my this column number 3. So in column number 3, if I run this, you see I have got the time. That's the time of my this video which I'm recording as per my system. And again it has, you know, since this blank cell is now again has been changed to some value, which is in this case is a time, so this trigger has again run, and I'll again say that this sheet will track sheet, so it will exit. So once it is going to exit, it will go to the next sheet, right? And now we have got the 100 because that's the new value which I got recorded. And now everything is complete. After this it will not find any code. So okay, so the last thing is Autofit, right? So Autofit, you see it has done all the Autofit, so all the cells are now well placed in within this, you know, sub. So now the sub is finished, you see. So this is how you can record this, and you can do the track the changes. So writing this code or maybe writing some other code is one of the same thing. Now let me tell you guys, I was telling you that if you write this you know, if like this, if you write here, then you don't write it in a one line, you know, you write it in a 2 line. Now when we are going to run this code, let me show you. Let me change this number to 200. Now see, it says block if without and if. So please remember this. This is a very important line. If you're writing the if condition in a way that the next code of your this true condition, which says that if sheet name is equal to track, then you should exit the sub, otherwise you should go to the end if, you know. So you can even write the else. That's one and the same thing. So when you break up this if in this way, then you'll have to write the end if, right? Now if I'll run this code, see, this code is going to be run. This is not going to give me any error, right? But since I don't like to add so much of space, so what I can do is I can write it in one line, because I just need just one condition, not more than that. Had it been more than one condition, then we would have used the else if, and then obviously we would have to use it, you know, in different lines. But right now I don't really need. So that's the way. And similarly you can even write this code with the help of this active sheet date dot name. That's one and the same thing. It's not gonna bring any changes in the code. That is just for your information. And similarly if you don't write this code and if you write this code, then that will also work. Let me just show you. So here I have 200 or maybe let's try to do it on some other sheet, maybe sheet 4, and let me change this to Rocky. Press enter. Okay, so now it says sub or function not defined. So again I have this habit, you know, God knows what is happening today. I'm not able to write the spellings correctly. But I'm sorry, but that's fine. So now you see this code. Now this code is again going to return a value 2, right? And now this has gone back to this because that's the track sheet. And now let me show you this. You see I'm getting the values here. Okay, so now if you have noticed, then instead of the sheet 1, now the sheet 4 is there, and time is changed, and but the date has remained same, right? So that's how you do your job. Okay, now new value is Rocky. Okay, so this is how you can you know, change the codes. And let me just try to do it in some another sheet, maybe something let me just write here, maybe let's write here 2222, and let us check now. So what we have got here, we have got here the again the my row 2, and I'm going to run this code. You see now we have the sheet 2 here. Previously it was sheet 4, right? So this is how, guys, you can keep the track on this entire code. And there is one more thing. Right now this is overwriting this stuff. What if you want to note these changes, you know, one by one below each? You don't want to overwrite it, so we can modify the code. What we can do is uh, we can define this my row variable as let's do we can, let me just copy this code here. Right now it is going from the top to the bottom, so if you want it to be run from the, let's say, the last cell, let's say 10,000 is something. Now let's see how will it bring the changes in this code. Okay, I'm commenting out this code, and now let's try it here. Maybe let me change this. Now let's see what is going to happen. You see, now this my row is now 3, not 2, which means that this cell will be filled now, keeping the second row, you know, same. It is not going to bring any changes in that, right? So let me quickly run this, and you see the things are changing here. Okay, the time is changed, the date is same, and this is how you can make your code, right? So the difference between this code and this code is that this range A1 means that it has started from here. Now when you start from here and press, you know, control right arrow, what will happen? It will take you to this code, right? So it will take you to this code and it will write the things, you know, there and then. But if you start this code from somewhere here and you go to this, you know, control right arrow, up arrow, and then you'll get on the last row, which is the last filled cell, and then +1 we are adding so that it should come to the very next cell, which is going to be a blank cell. So that is the actual difference between you know, these codes. So if you want to override the stuff, you can use this code, that one with the range A1, and if you want to keep the record of all the, you know, changes, which I think ideally it should be the approach, but then again it's entirely upon, you know, up to the nature of the work which you are dealing with. So you can even write this code, right? So this will do what? This will start from the downward direction and it will simply add the one to it, right? I hope you like this video, and so before I sign off, I am just giving you this email ID. That's my email ID. You can get back to me in case if you have some questions, and my other ID is, so this is triggered because I have, you know, changed the value here. So that's my another video, sorry, email ID, which is on the Gmail. Okay, now see what is happening when I'm pressing the enter. You see it is already, this is being triggered, right? And because it was empty, the cell was empty, and I entered some value, so it got changed. But now what will happen is, since I'm getting these changes done on the track sheet, it will immediately exit from here. Sheet name is track, yes, it is track, and it will exit the sub, right? So that's how. And don't forget to, you know, remove this break code, because we were doing it for the, you know, we wanted to run this code step by step, but right now we don't want to run it step by step. So now if you'll add something here, maybe let me tell you something here. You see these are the changes you're doing it. In the background the code is running. We are not seeing that window because I have just got it out from the break code. Now let's see if we have got something here. You see guys, all the changes are done, 100, 200, 344, and these are the timings, right? And these are the sheets. So this is how you can prepare the code. And so let me just quickly wrap up with the note that hope you have a wonderful Sunday today, and with this video your day goes, you know, something, I mean, you know, your day goes with some more learning, and keep watching my videos. Do subscribe in case if you want to learn more. I have uploaded many other videos on the YouTube on my channel, and I'm going to upload some more videos as I keep on getting the emails from my students. So very soon I'm going to upload a video. Somebody asked me, they want to know actually what kind of a questions being asked in a, you know, interview when you go for the VBA. So guys, that will be taken care of very soon. So thank you so much for watching this, and stay happy, stay fit. Thank you so much. Bye bye.